Welcome back, movie lovers. Today we are diving into G20 and peeling back why this summit-sized thriller feels more like a paint-by-numbers exercise than edge-of-your-seat suspense. From the very first lines, it hands you the villain on a silver platter. Remember that offhand remark from the Treasury Secretary Joanna Worth?
I came across as looking like I was jealous of a war hero and kissed the nomination goodbye. But then we became friends again.
Yeah, your inner detective clicks on like a metal detector at the beach. Ding 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 ding, Joanna's the traitor. And sure enough, when bullet starts flying by minute 5, you have already cracked the case. But let's talk stakes. How many times have you sat through an action flick, biting your nails, genuinely unsure who will make it out alive? Here, Oliver Everett and Elena Romano swagger through every firefight on skid.
And that cold wind you feel is Elena Romano. She's the new head of the International Monetary Fund. Only the second most powerful woman in the world after you.
A few moments later.
Look at me. I'm gonna get you out of here.
No. Nobody likes a bulldozer. If you get the merest consideration of your proposal, it'll be a victory. Now, let's get you a drink.
2 minutes later.
Because shocker, the UK Prime Minister and the head of IMF need to leave for Sutton's grand finale bargain. Predictable, right? And speaking of predictable, don't get me wrong, I'm all for empowering female heroes. Viola Davis as President Danielle Sutton is a force of nature. 6-foot mercenaries topple before her spry ex-soldier finesse, knee injury and all. And Marseille Martin's Serena hacking the summit's live feed in under 10 seconds? Total crowd pleaser. But in the same breath, her husband Derek and son Demetrius barely register beyond save them checklist items. They are collateral damage, not characters. Some critics even call the characters cardboard-cutouts, which is a polite way of saying they were undercooked extras in a one-woman show. And here's the delicious irony. The director of the movie, Patricia Riggen herself once said, "There's been an exclusion of women telling female stories. We as female audiences have been suffering the result of that for decades. Movies that are unbearable to watch because they have been misdirected by men." She went on further to say, "What we need is balance. What we need is to stop the exclusion." Now, as someone who is advocating change, there should have been some sense of balance in the character development and depth in the movie, but it is glaring for all to see that the director wasn't really pushing for balance. So why does Hollywood keep serving us these spoiler-wrapped trailers? Maybe they think a female lead alone is enough to feel fresh. Well, newsflash, it isn't, if the story is like a pre-hashed memo. Next time, if you crave a real suspense, where you are actually scratching your head, whispering, "I did not see that coming," skip the Airborne Summit and pick something that trusts you not to solve its mysteries before the opening credits. Alright, your turn. Which blockbuster spoiled itself faster than you could say the word twist? Drop it in the comments, but spoiler target. Let's keep the rest of us guessing. And hey, if you enjoyed ripping G20 to shreds with me, hit subscribe and ring that bell, because when Hollywood's surprise meter flatlines, we will be right here, diagnosing the disease one predictable plot point at a time. Peace. At this point, you just know that if anything should happen to these two, the president and the movie are